Chapter 919. The chips had been cashed out and wired into his card. Wilbur smiled and started meditating in his new room. He was going to go up against a super sanctuary level cultivator tomorrow. He had to rest well. Late at night, Tiff, who had been knocked unconscious, finally came around in the basement. She was covered in dirt, her body covered in injuries. Her broken leg was a tragic sight to behold. She could only see through the light coming through the tiny window. She looked at her broken leg in disbelief. She could not believe that his was how she was being treated. A moment ago, she had already become a millionaire, yet the very next moment, she was dragged into a dark enclosed space. She bore through the pain and crawled to the door. She tried to push the door, but the iron seemed to be welded shut. She could not even move it at all. The tiny window was so small that even a cat would not be able to get through, let alone for her to climb out. A deep sensation of fear overwhelmed her. She soon lost it and bawled out sobbing. It was too bad. The place she was at was specifically made to punish those who went against the rules of the casino. No one could hear her from the outside. At that moment, she was just like an abandoned and injured animal, waiting to slowly rot and die. The next day, the fight between Styles Dune and Trevor Penn was scheduled for the afternoon, but Mount Roma was already filled with hundreds of people since the morning. Mount Roma was actually more of a little hill with a few trees on it. After all, Roma was just a small place. Among them were cultivators and casino bosses. Some came because they were fans, while some came specifically to watch the fight. Basically, all the influential people of Aroma were there. Styles Dune ruled Aroma for over 2 decades, after he had become a super sanctuary-level cultivator. No one dared to challenge him anymore. He had not fought in the past 20 years. This was one of the reasons why everyone was excited. They could finally see Styles, the super sanctuary cultivator, fight in all of his glory. One thing that stumped everyone was that no one understood what Trevor Penn was thinking about. How dare he challenge a super sanctuary-level cultivator to a fight? Did he have a death wish or something? Although he was a sanctuary-level cultivator, the disparity between them was vast. There was a reason why the super sanctuary level was called that in the first place. At that moment, the tunnels to the mountain had been blocked by a group of guards. No one could enter. Judging by the emblem on their uniform, everyone knew that they were Styles' men. They had already sealed off the mountain. Others would just have to observe from below. Moreover, everyone knew that going up the mountain to watch the fight was extremely dangerous. The aftermath of an attack by a super sanctuary-level cultivator could get them killed. They would rather stay downhill. Edward and Jesse were among the crowd, chatting with each other. They had negotiated with the casino and the casino agreed to their stakes. After all, the casino needed to earn a profit too. Besides, the chances of Styles winning were extremely high. They were not afraid that Edward and Jesse would lose. Even so, there were still people keeping an eye on them without them knowing. Their female companions were still standing next to them looking terrified. They wore long clothes to cover up the bruises on their bodies. Edward and Jesse did not hit them in the face, which was why they looked normal.